Let's see, like, how do I... Oh, I think I did it. Okay, cool. Just needed to tighten that up so we could stand up straight. Welcome to this live. Welcome to this live. This is for my twin flames. Okay, for those of you who got dragged by the journey, or maybe you're just learning, I'm not even really sure where this message is gonna go because I'm one of them ones where it did not work out. Okay, so let's just be 100% real. But we're gonna pull some cards on it, and we're just gonna like talk about it. And please let me know in the comments like what your experience was like or where you're at with it. You know, if you've got a success story, tell us. You know, we inquiring minds want to know what the fuck just happened to us. Okay. I just got out of the tub. I did a meeting for the Queen's Council, the Divine Feminines, earlier this morning. Took me a bath, and I was going to do Divine Masculine, but I'm like, no, let's just get into this twin flame energy, something that it's like become a no-no word in the spiritual community in some ways. You know, it's like you're all of a sudden you're not evolved if you still believe in that, right? But the thing about it, and I'm telling you, my shit got fucked up, okay? I fall under the category of the hitman who fell in love with me. Okay. I fell over, like, this motherfucker tried to do me in. Okay. So, like, but at the same time, nothing changes that initial spark, that the spirituality behind the connection, as much as it's just like, hell no, I'm not talking to that person again. Then it's like nothing stops the fact that I'm like, but I know that was my twin flame though. Like, and don't you dare send me another one. Like, like if that's over, don't send me no twin flame. Don't tell me the real one coming. Fuck that. Okay. It's like, that type energy. Dan says, just changing toxic behaviors, dear. Okay. Elaborate on that. This is going to be a discussion. Elaborate on that, because let's just get these perspectives out here so we can expand our minds so that we can continue to grow. Because one thing that I will say is that the twin flame journey changed me bigger, better. I'm the bestest. Would have never been as divine if I hadn't gone on such a journey. So we can't say that it's not real, like it didn't exist. You know, let's validate like our crazy ass experience that we had. Hi, Missy Miss. Thank you for being here. Okay. I appreciate your time and attention. Dan says that the mirror is confusing. Yeah, so like the mirroring energy, that's just crazy. I definitely feel like my twin and I are still mirroring each other. And I think that on my journey, my spirit teams, the Most High God, because I talk directly, okay, is like grabs my ear. Don't you go over there with that boy. Don't you talk to that man. In fact, it's more than don't talk to him. Don't go over there. Oh, the spam is supposed to hide your words. Okay, Missy, you stop that right now, or I'll have to put you on timeout because this is a discussion. Okay. Thank you, Dad. I'm getting used to this chat situation. But I put folks in timeout for being disrespectful for sure. And so my spirit team, like, I'm not allowed to talk to my twin. I'm not allowed to think about him. Definitely not supposed to have any type of, you know, twin flame sexual exchange. You know what I'm saying? I used to, like, think of it or manifest like we had, like, this, like, divine bedroom. Yeah, definitely not allowed to go in there. Okay? And so, like, the telepathy, like, I am not allowed to participate. And so that kind of makes me sad because there's so much power that I have drawn from my connection that I feel like, well, you know, it was a nice fantasy even. You know what I'm saying? Like I was able to draw a lot of manifestation power from there. So I'm just trying to figure out like how it's like what the hell? Like what was that about? And you know, Dan says, we sometimes do not take the time to look into our own selves. And he also says to know our own desires and feel unworth when true love finds us. Okay. I can say this. I'm really content being by myself. You know, I'm really content with being in my own energy. I feel like when people come into my energy, it's actually quite disturbing to my energetic field. But obviously, I'm going to have to figure out how to like let certain people in. You know what I mean? Or just using great discernment and like who I connect with. Okay, so yes, how are we gonna go about this? Holy Spirit, all praise to the Most High Power. We are grateful. And I just ask that you help us to understand the twin flame journey, who, what, where, why, and how. Where are we now? And how should we move? I had 9 of Swords and Ace of Wands. Dan says there are a lot of self-defeating behaviors and cause one to use or abuse another. This was created by earlier versions of society and standards. Well, that's absolutely true. I feel like, so what I've always felt was like, speaking of my own connection, I feel like our love transcends time and space, okay? And that it is like a blueprint. And that even, like, I feel like my job in my twin flame connection was to say no to all the crazy antics and to say, no, I don't accept that, I don't accept that, it's not good enough, da, da, da. And that, you know, and that his job was to continuously challenge me. And I can say, even after everyone who's betrayed me, and he's in that category of people who have betrayed me, it's like I still have this level of like forgiveness that's different. Okay? It's something that's different. It's something that's still like sustaining. Holy Spirit. And I'm a little nervous, you guys, so just bear with me because this is just something that I feel weird about talking about. King of Wands energy, okay? That fire is still burning, okay? That fire is still burning. It's still in a teenage type energy, so I guess it's still a ton of growth that needs to be done. I feel like the separation is necessary. And something that also came to me is that, like, I feel like there's a reason why, I don't know why, but that I'm still like, that it hasn't fully ended. Because see, there's people in my life who the ties are so cut and you don't even think about that person anymore. You have no desire to reconnect. But somehow the twin flame connection, it's like, even if you're like, I'm walking away for good, I'm okay, I know that I must walk away with good. Even if you're like, I know I want to be with somebody else. Like for me, I'm like, I'd like to be with somebody I can trust. Like why I cannot even fathom how I could trust this person again. You know what I'm saying? But somehow that fire is still burning. And I feel like there's a reason why we don't know even consciously, because it's like we are being under such attack. I mean, these people are using magic against us. They are reading our charts. They are, you know, pulling cards on us. They don't want us to be together so bad. And it's like, I feel like there's a reason that even the counterparts themselves are confused in the energy. I feel like there's a purpose in that. I feel like the spirit is like, hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no, for a reason, so that you go and not only you just work on yourself, grow and be on mission for yourself, and also so that the wizards, for lack of a better word, can't track you. I feel like this is going to be a very cryptic message for those who have an ear to hear. Haha, Dan says I tapped into her thought that I did not sin yet. Okay. But yes, the mirror is learning discernment from judgment, and we have cured duality. So like, talk to me about curing duality. Okay. Like, talk to me about that duality, because just elaborate on that. Help expand me on that one time. Okay. So yeah, but the fire is still burning. So if you thought it was gone, it ain't. Now, I don't know if you're supposed to be with that person or whatever. Okay. 3 of Pentacles. This is definitely the energy of collaborations. I feel like things are still coming together. Okay. Divine Feminine is definitely the star here, though. She's on the stage and she's taking her place. Okay. So remember, Divine Feminine is moving forward. She's actually the one pushing this whole thing forward. I feel like she's taking her place as a star. She is the muse. She is the muse for this. So yes, the collaboration is still, especially with this being in the Pentacles energy, it is still there. Okay, your masculine may be watching you on a platform or whatever way. It could even just be in spirit. You know, I feel like this person has eyes on you, though. I feel like that person definitely has eyes on you. Uniting the masculine, so we're talking about duality, uniting the masculine, feminine energy in one vessel. Okay, love it. And no toxic needs, but willing surrender. Okay, I like that energy as well. It's getting out of that, I need you to be the, you need to show up for me like that. We're letting that energy go, and like just being okay with what is. Okay, so I high five on that, Divine Feminine. I feel like we're really in a place where we don't really need anything from anybody. We accept things that we like, and we have boundaries for things that are not good for us. Excuse Puppy Duppy in the back. She got a hold of her toy. Holy Spirit, what do we need to know about the twin flame journey? Okay, so I feel like this is like this energy, like the feminine collective may be really trying to figure out like what the helly, like why did that happen to me? What is going? It might be this energy of like, if this is my twin flame, how come I'm not supposed to be with them? I feel like that has to do with attachment. I feel like what Dan was saying is healing those the previous things set by the society said, what we were taught about relationships. I feel like there's definitely this pain, just like I was saying, oh, we can't, I could never be with that person. The betrayal is too deep. But when we're talking about literally laying out the blueprint for love, connection, and how we're going to anchoring this down into this realm, this new blueprint for love, it's kind of beyond society standards of being like, you mistreated me, I could never. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's deep as fuck, but I just, for me personally, I put the connection like, if God himself want to sit down here on my bed, sit me down on my bed and say like, listen, I know, I know it's in a rough road, but I'm gonna need you to stick beside him. Okay, that's what it would take. And I think that it's like, this is because we are still 3D beings. It's a struggle to even contemplate this whole thing. Okay. Dan says we need to learn to master ourselves. She says healing isn't always necessary. And by that, do you mean something like we don't have to understand, or we don't have to rehash certain things? But being authentic is. Okay, absolutely. So it's okay to be angry. Period. I get that from the kids. I'm a millennial, okay? But I got some Gen Z kids, so fuck yeah. Okay. 10 of Pentacles, baby. Ooh, what's behind it though? What's behind it? The 5 of Swords. It's a fight. They don't want us to have this. They don't want us to have this. Okay. There's a lot of shit that has gone down to keep us separate. And something that I have learned on my journey is that there's an aspect of actual people meddling and doing setups and paying people to hurt you and coming for you for real. And then there's also this aspect of like real demons body hopping. So sometimes I'm a little bit confused. Like, do all you motherfuckers know each other? Okay. Because everybody keeps coming at me in the same way. And it's like, yes, some of them. But then I also definitely met some people who definitely could not have been connected to the others, right? And had that same energy. So the conflict behind this all is real. The battles that we're facing in the twin flame journey, they're seen and unseen. There's actual physical people who know what's up and don't want us to be together. They don't want to see the divine masculine grow out of their toxic ways, you know, and they don't want to see the divine feminine be exalted to who she really is. And then there's, that's physically, but even before we get there, metaphysically, there's a fucking spiritual battle going for sure. Okay. But Five of Swords is different from the Seven of Swords in that this is like competition. So there's people who want to be you, people who know your destiny and want to get in that mug. Okay, so Dan says the awakening was mine, and we share. Okay, you share that with your twin, and yes, anger can be a gift. Okay, so I think that that's true. Okay, for sure. Dan says, unfortunately, she was birthed in her own ego. And I think we all were. I think that just being born, period, on the 3D realm, we can't help. We start our life with learning our five senses. You know what I'm saying? And then we're taught to be in a certain way. So I feel like that's just part of the human experience. And I feel like also like not having to, our ego is important just as well as our spiritual body. I don't know what I'm trying to think of what's the spiritual word for ego or the opposite of ego. Okay, we share the growth. Now, something that I've been kind of saying to myself lately is, if this mother trucker was my twin, I feel like I would see more growth. I feel like I would see more growth. Like, this motherfucker stayed stuck for a long time. But then I have to think, like, you know, just because I don't do drugs, okay, making it plain simple, doesn't mean that I'm not still stuck in certain other bad behaviors. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I'm not a sex addict, okay, doesn't mean that I didn't practice, like, toxic femininity in a way. And so I think it's easier for the divine feminine to look at the divine masculine and be like, you ain't shit. Because maybe our toxicity is not frowned upon in the same way, or maybe it's not as obvious. Okay. Okay, Five of Pentacles energy here. Definitely having to heal a feeling. I'm not even seeing this as broke. I'm seeing this as brokenness. Okay. Abandonment issues and reasons why we try to hold on to people. I'm hearing like getting clout, needing others. What is the message? It's a Six of Swords. So moving forward with blind faith. I always feel like this is blind faith. But you know, this deck is a little bit different. This is a crone. This is somebody who is wise. Okay, so you may still be like real young looking, but this time you're moving forward, it's like you know better. You know, you have better experience. So if you have encounter with your twin or whatever challenges, because I don't know if I'll ever see my twin again. Real talk. Okay. You're moving forward with a new level of understanding. Definitely drawing on past experiences with this Six of Swords. This is giving me this nostalgic energy here. Being able to make sense of what's happened. But nonetheless, moving forward. And I feel, and the water is calm. Okay. Dan says this is a shadow aspect of the past that we are leaving behind. Okay, I like that. More of this conflict energy, okay? I feel like there's a reason why there's a lack of clarity. I feel like they don't, first of all, they don't want us to be clear on shit, okay? I feel like there's a whole team of metaphysical folks and physical folks, okay, trying to create a level of confusion. I really feel like we're not supposed to know. And we're supposed to keep moving forward as individuals at this time, because I am able to draw a lot of strength. When me and my twin, we don't have to see each other. All we have to do is agree that we love each other, or that we're, you know, like, this is the, you know, little, that's all. Just in our thoughts, oh, we're on one accord. Baby, I'm telling you, that shit starts spinning. But you know, from my perspective, I feel like my twin was stealing that energy. So we conjure it, and then he tried to like do some narcissistic shit where it's like build you up, bring you down type. And because he's very much a fucking warlock, okay? Like, as powerful I am, he is. But he be on some dark shit. That's where I'm kind of like, we can't be friends, okay? Because for me, I'm on my light shit, but then I guess it makes sense that we're opposite. I don't know. It's a whole lot of people involved, though. It's not just about the two of you, and I think that that's why we have to understand that this connection, it's not just about like, oh, it's a love connection. Like, no, it's a divine connection meant to help heal the earth. I actually agree with that. Dan says, as I change within, all of you are affected. I see that as well. And that's what I mean. It's like this connection is not just about like, oh, my love story. This is so far beyond me. And that it's creating pathways and blueprints, a grid. It's helping to redefine the grid so that there's even like a thought process for some of these things, okay? Particularly forgiveness, the Hierophant. We're stuck together, birds, okay? So definitely a divine contract. And it's like, I don't think, it doesn't matter how raggedy the contract, look at how her outfit is tattered, how wrinkly that shit gets. You can't cut a cord that God has put there, okay? Oof. And I would say this is what the fucking connection definitely looks like. It looks like they've been defeated. It looks like, yes, it worked. We got them both. First of all, they're faking the funk because the everything, there's two cards that look just like this. If it was Ten of Swords, it would just say, yeah, we killed them. No. They're pretending like they're not even hurt. They're acting like they're not even hurt. They're acting like they don't even miss each other. Okay? They're acting like, oh, I don't need that. I never even wanted that shit type energy, right? But look at all these swords. There's so much pain here. Okay? So many times they've been stabbed in their back over and over again. Yeah, I would say that's the current state. And that's what's causing so much confusion. For the lovers. Okay? I'm noticing that hands are not touching. There is an element of a disconnect. So you may be feeling like the telepathy is not there. Okay? I know for me, Spirit don't want me connecting in that way. It makes it too easy for him. You know, it makes it, and he's abused the line too long. Okay? And so there's a reason why the divine feminine and the divine masculine are disconnected to go and do their own growth. And this may also have to do with us integrating it within ourselves. You know, now it's no longer, I'm divine feminine, I'm divine masculine, and when we come together, we're the twin flames. No, it's more like each individual has to do the healing themselves. Dan says her words are being censored and my live feeds are my only words to get through. I don't exactly know what to say about that, honey, because these are my words. Okay, this is my space. And if you were meant to have a space, you certainly would. Okay, so don't hold yourself back. If you got something to say, make sure you get up every day and you say that. Chariot, okay? Dun na na na, dun 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 na na na. I agree with what you have to say here about the integration, though. Okay, because we are absolutely, especially as the divine feminine, moving forward ahead. Fiercely in who we have become, and we're for surely got our black and whites on. Okay, I feel like on this new level we've ascended past the last cycle, okay, whatever that was for you, the last cycle, and now we're here again, okay, on a path for learning and growing. It's giving me Oz energy here too, following this yellow brick road. So it's like we're almost in a childlike energy again, let's begin again type energy. Yes, these comments are only seen live. Sometimes I just have to empty myself so Spirit can come through. Queen of Wands with the Eight of Swords. Okay, you've made a decision to move forward. Go ahead now, divine feminine. Go ahead now. Without even knowing what's up fully or completing the healing or getting all the answers, divine feminine has made a decision to move the fuck forward. Okay? And she's a baddie who knows she's a 10. She's juggling quite the well. Okay? You're looking good while you do it. Here go this death energy again. And you're not scared of shit. You're not scared of shit. Okay? You don't give a fuck who want to come round. You've already died before. You'll do it again. You don't give a fuck. Because you know that you're constantly being restored. Like, it doesn't matter who try to stop you. You are a king up in this bitch with the emperor. You became your own damn emperor. Okay? So, I like this energy. I feel like Divine Feminine is taking her place. Okay? She is being exalted to who she really should be. And there's no need, no need to fear, but that's not really what I wanted to say. She got here on her own, so she thinks. Because what I can't deny is that the way I was activated, okay? Yeah, I did the work. Yes, I did. I made the choices. But that twin flame energy is something that I cannot deny about how much it slingshotted me forward. Okay. But yeah, the Most High is constantly restoring the Divine Feminine. Even death can't conquer her. Okay. And I even had my own personal encounters with death magic that was working on my heart, and other people died. Not me though. Thank you, Danny. I love you too, and I really do appreciate you being here and helping me out on this live, okay? Because I actually, I stray away from love readings. I don't talk about twin flames because it makes me uncomfortable. It's so personal. And so that's why I might feel a little bit awkward because it's scary. Because it's too much truth. Too much of my own personal truth. Okay? The high priestess here though, she know what's up. Okay? Divine Feminine already know what's up. Okay? And you can't tell her shit. Like, you cannot convince her of what the Most High has already told her about what her guides and her own intuition and her past experiences. And that's why it's like people can say, oh, because you know why? A lot of people be like, your ex twin flame or your false twin flame. I don't believe in that. And I can't be convinced of that. I do not believe there is a such thing either. That wasn't your twin flame, okay? But there's no such thing as a false one, okay? Not when you've had the phenomenal experiences, you know, when you can touch a person and electricity happen, okay? So, I don't know why I'm being drawn to the pomegranates in the background, okay? I think that's a symbol of knowledge. I think pomegranates are symbolic to the brain. And definitely royalty crown chakra with all this purple here. Okay, so you're definitely like on a higher level and nice and balanced with the duality, with the black and white, the yin and yang energy here. It's very comfortable going from that masculine, feminine. Very comfortable pulling energy from the spirits and making a decision on that. So there's going to be some choices to make moving forward. Okay? This is just like strong ass make a choice because we had the Queen of Swords come out, but it's like the Seven of Cups with the King of Swords here. It's like you're going to make a decision. Okay? You're going to make a decision and take action on that. Okay? And so I don't know, I'm getting drawn to the Love Cup. Okay? They're telling me choose love. Okay? Okay? Love for self first and foremost. Okay? But love for self includes honoring your own desires. Shit's getting complicated. This rose energy is next. Roses were definitely very symbolic in my... Flowers in general were very symbolic for me in my connection. Okay? I don't know, something about the roses and the flowers. That's definitely feminine energy here. The roses and the heart energy. Okay? So choose love and beauty, beautification. Take action on that. Dan says, my cellular memories become shared through the mirrors. I like that. Okay. My cellular memories become shared through the mirrors. I like to, even if I don't fully comprehend, I consider it to be like light codes. So, it may not resonate with me in the moment, but it could resonate with whoever I'm saying it, because it's like, it's kind of making my brain pop when you're saying something about cellular memories, because that's a very real thing, and I can totally understand how I go through something, right? And then even speaking on that experience, but taking it even deeper, even looking into somebody's eyes, they can pick up certain nuances or light codes that they're needed. Hey, these came out together. Oh, okay. Baby, the star card with the badass being full of life card. Okay, like, you that girl. You the one. You the one that I think about all day. Okay? So, first of all, your person ain't forgot about you. With the little Rihanna song that came through, your person can see you. They're seeing you, even if they have to look at the moon. Okay? And maybe that has something to do with you're talking about the cellular mirror situation. Like picking up on people's experiences. I wish I had the words. My poor brain is about to pop, okay? Trying to articulate it, okay? But it's like, even if you're looking at the stars, your person is looking at the stars at night, trying to pull on your energy, okay? If they're not looking directly at your page, okay? It could be both of them, all right? I feel like your person is praying, okay? I feel like the divine feminine feels like she's above the connection, but why are we here? Okay, exactly. Exactly. The divine feminine is off doing her thing. She's becoming the empress for sure. And she has had to let go of like the physical aspects of her connection, and even like the contemplation, are we going to be together? She's just being now. The divine feminine is just being, but she's also continuously pouring into the world. Okay, a true divine feminine is in some level of mission. Okay, and so whether you have a physical job that you like help and uplift people, or you're on the internet helping uplifting people, the divine feminine is doing something. Divine feminine may be doing some gardening. This is what I'm hearing too. Or with the watering aspect, you may be like growing plants and things of that nature as well. But regardless, you're a star, okay? And you're being watched. You have a lot of fucking eyes on you, including the heavens. I feel like the ancestors, everybody is so excited about you, okay? And I'll say this is the Most High God, number one, sitting divine source energy, making it all happen. He put you here in this position, okay? Your authenticity is beautiful, okay? We even like your little tummy and your hairy cooch, okay? Don't never change, divine feminine. You're a badass being full of light, love, and possibilities. Danny apologizes and says, you are brilliant, and I do appreciate you recognizing me. I appreciate the soul recognition. Thank you for finding me in the interwebs. I noticed that you said it was 10:10, and I was born in California. My timeline is 12. Right now, it was 12:10 at that time. But that's where I'm from, is California. Dan says, reality bends around me. I feel like I said something like that earlier. Like, I think it was in my last video. I said, like, something like that. Like, it was shaping, like, the world around, and I was talking about divine feminine. The world around divine feminine is shaping. It's like bending to divine feminine's will. Something that a message for my enemies, okay, is like, if you come into my energetic field, what I say goes. So you cannot you can manifest over there all you like in your space, in your lane. But if you want to be in my lane, this is my lane. Okay, so this is my realidad. Okay, so I laugh at my enemies, okay, and you should do the same, is that, especially when you're in your power, okay, is that they can try to manifest your downfall all you want, but if you're manifesting for your upfall, okay, your uprise, all right, then they can't do, it's your reality, it's your world, okay? Dan says she's released her toxicity and this is being transmuted in the big picture. We released our toxicity and we're transmuting it for everyone. So if some of those who may not even be able to grasp this concept, we're changing it for them as well. I have 6% battery, so we're going to draw to a close near Ace of Cups, though, a whole new beginning. I feel like our cup runneth over. This is giving me, didn't we get the Ace of Pentacles earlier? That says we get filled back up. Where'd it go? We're continuously renewed and restored. The divine feminine is in the flow, okay? No matter what happens, it's all going to work out. This is also a sign, we're already in that abundant energy. You know, despite what reality, Earth may be catching up, but we've already received our inheritance, okay? I follow in the storyline of the one who got stolen inheritance and the family tried to kill her, all of that. Yeah, that's my life story. And I thank my family for that, because my life would be so much more boring. Like, I thought the twin flame shit was interesting. Oh, family trying to kill you, way more interesting. Okay? Okay? So, cup running over. Okay? We're already in this divine flow here. Okay, I'm going to pull one more from here, and then we're going to switch decks. We're at 5% battery now. And I don't have an extension cord. My current charger is not very long. 7 of Pentacles. Okay, so keep working. Keep working on it. Keep working on yourself, mastering self, okay? We still have work to do. Even on this new level, remember, we're back at the page level again in regards to the next level, okay? We conquered as Empress on last cycle, but this is the next cycle. So we're back here planting these seeds, watering them, and you may be feeling like, okay, but when's it going to hit my account? They're supposed to be taking accountability, okay? It's supposed to be in my account, okay? And so you might feel that way. And I feel like Spirit keep us like that to keep us, like, hungry for more. I'm a Taurus, so it's very easy for me to be like, oh, it's comfortable here. Let's just chill, you know, and you get real lazy. But when Taurus is not comfortable, oh, that's when you get that grit and that grind going. Okay, Taurus ain't never going to quit until they're comfortable. Then they're going to take some time. Okay? So I feel like the Most High like be keeping me like, look, reward, now get back to work. Okay. So yes, Dan says, welcome to higher dimensions. Yes, yes, yes. And I feel like the Lion's Gate was a huge portal. I'm gonna have to get a charger because I'm not ready to go to end this. We might just have to move close to the wall. And just get on the floor or something. Because we planting these seeds. We're working. We're working. Okay. Divine Feminine, you a queen, but we be working though. We be working for real. Okay. I want to get on the charger because I don't want to be stopped by the whatchamacallit. So let's move away from the desk. Do 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 do. And please excuse if my background's not all pretty, because it's my bedroom. It's not too bad though. I only brought one set of cards with me, but it's gonna be okay. All right, we on the charger. All right, so we're gonna use this, and there's this girl. I got this deck from Angelic Revelations 144 years ago, and she is amazing. Amazing. She made hella decks, but she's not on YouTube anymore. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate you too as well, Dan. It says, I don't have any friends in real life. They all betrayed me. Okay? So, but what I said in Divine Feminine is that we are going to be meeting people who are compatible. So, yay. I don't know. If anybody knows what happened to Angelic Revelation 144, tell her I love her. And thank you. You know, I know we all have to like go on our own path. Puppy Duppy. Ruby wants to say hi. Come here. Come here, Ruby. Say hi. Now she doesn't want to say hi. Okay. But she was amazing. And so I would love, just shout out to her because I don't know why she went off. I hope she's okay. All praises to the Most High Power. We are grateful. This is actually called Stop and Smell the Roses, Counting Blessings on the Sacred Journey. And I think this is perfect for twin flames and separation. They're saying, which is an illusion, by the way. Okay, we got two that flipped. I choose to invite joy and abundance into my life by living a life of gratitude. Gratitude is alchemy 101. Okay, that's the baseline of how we get something we want, is by being thankful for what we already have. Dan says, I am fortunately still not in a place to transcend the battery or the Wi-Fi, even though you read my thoughts and energy. Yeah, girl, we still got to plug to the wall, right? I feel you on that. You know, but I consider the internet to be like the fourth dimension, you know, because it's like you can see, you can hear, you just can't taste and touch, you know what I'm saying? So it's not 3D, but I feel like this is like the fourth dimension. And this puppy, she has no manners, okay? She wants me to play with her toy so bad. She ate a deck of cards too, so you gotta watch her. Hey, Pookie. Ah. So, don't be rude, okay? I allow my heart to be compassionate, sense my higher truth, and remain trusting while I remain patient. I can barely read because the dog is messing with me. I allow my heart to be compassionate, sense my higher truth, and sense it, my higher truth, and remain trusting while I remain patient, okay? So I really feel like this is like remaining forgiving for whatever may have transpired in your connection. You know, forgiving is not forgetting, and it doesn't mean like, oh, next time they call, you're gonna answer. No, hold them trugs, them mother truckers accountable. Okay, keep your boundaries high and push everything through spirit. Like, you know, thank you, spirit saying, if we want to communicate with our divine masculines, because the telepathy has definitely been turned down, at least for me, you can tell me whether or not, but we can connect directly through source. We can, in prayer, say, hey, tell my divine masculine I say hi, or I hope you be okay, or something like that. So it's still okay to pray for your divine masculine. They don't want us to give them a lot of energy, and I think that is for their own sake because they have to grow. That's definitely what it is. I know that for myself, that if I start giving energy, I like literally lose some of mine. So like I will lose money especially if I get into if I go into that divine bedroom, you know what I mean? I lose something. And that's why I'll be like, oh, hell no, he a demon. You know what I'm saying? But spirit is just saying like, stay away from him. Yes, he is a demon. And you're an angel and you're not compatible at this time. But that doesn't mean that the Most High is not still working. Okay? Girl, get away. Her name's Ruby. She's my jewel. She's the crown jewel. I'm throwing the toy so she doesn't bite me. I am unique, quirky, and innovative. I embrace my eccentricities, and authenticity proudly as a divine expression of life. I always feel like we are all a droplet of divine source energy, and that the highest form of praise is to be our true, authentic self. Like, you know, we were taught in the church that we all need to pray like this. Get on your knees and pray, you know, don't commit no sins, live like everybody else, straight and narrow. But no, okay? God gave us that fire, okay? That fire in us. And express our truth, even if it's anger, or even could be considered obscene. If it's truth, it's part of the divine, and it's part of life, it's part of God. So that so that, you know, that is what should be expressed. You know, we're all taught, like, you know, the church folks will be like, she's got blue hair, you know, or you know, the fact of astrology and stuff. I had to block somebody on Facebook yesterday, something like that, because she was like a new Facebook friend, and she just kept making posts saying you know, astrology is witchcraft, and this and that is witchcraft, and if it ain't Jesus Christ. And it's just like, to me, that was so ignorant. Like, first of all, I consider myself omniscient. I believe anything is possible, and I draw light and love and understanding from every type of religion. Like, I believe in it all. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not anti people who go to church. I mean, I feel like there are some. I used to be a Christian, so I don't hate Christians, but I don't respect anybody who thinks that there's only one way to heaven. Okay? Like, I don't respect you trying to exalt yourself by pushing others down. And so I just blocked her, because ain't no reason, ain't anybody, especially a black woman, still calling him Jesus Christ. Like, you ain't learned the name Yeshua? You don't know that J was not even a fucking letter? All right. If it's not in the Bible, it ain't right. Baby, you never heard of the Emperor Constantine and how they put the Bible together to fuck us over? You really think that when they not fuck calling it slavery, when we were imprisoned for all them years, that they would actually tell us the truth about God to empower us? You really think that? Yeah, you're dumb. Block. Okay? Dan says, thank you for your time, and I will depart, so your dog will calm. Okay. Thank you, honey. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you again soon. Okay? Yeah, because she's hyped for sure. So, yeah, I had to block that person because it's the closed-mindedness for me. Pookie. Pookie. Come on, Pookie. Where's your toy? Go get the toy. Go get the toy. So I could throw it. Go get your toy. Oh, it's right here. I visualize my dreams and I trust that they will manifest within divine timing. My dreams are held safely within the hands of God. This is a twin flame deck, and I think it's interesting that these have all been about the self. And I really feel like this is really a message for the divine feminine. Whether you be in a masculine body or not, because I know that that's possible. So I feel like the one who's in the leader in the connection, it's okay for you to be focused on self. You know what I'm saying? And to forge ahead on your own. Mama K or Mama Key says that's all we focused on. Okay, I may have missed, I'm not sure which point that was, but being focused on self, hell yeah. Dan says, there is more judgment than truth being pushed through Christianity. It makes them look for saviors. Yeah, for sure. It's so much judgment. I was, during my period of homelessness, I ended up going to stay with my dad for a while and his wife. And she has cancer, which is a parasite. You know, I tried to enlighten this lady. I'm a healer. Like, I got the herb knowledge. Okay, like that is one of my gifts. Like, if you start telling me about your ailments, baby, I will start channeling you a recipe. Okay, and it happens naturally. And I'd be so excited to like teach somebody to heal, but people are so bound to the medical industry. Like, it's really sad. Like, unless somebody who's already like in the knowledge of herbs, those people listen, but then they already have the knowledge. I'll be trying to save the people on the medicine. Anyways, I came and I was like, wow, she's helping me in my time of need, and I want to be able to help her time of need. Girl, her son saw me on Facebook doing my messages. All I do is spread love and light. I am not like, you can see. It's high vibrational, right? I wasn't talking about nothing low vibing. He screenshotted me doing the cards. Bro, she flipped her wig, her literal wig, and became so demonic. Like, she was trying to say that I was practicing witchcraft, right? But she was acting like a literal demon. And it's like, honey, no. And I went out, and the Most High removed me from that space and gave me my own space. And I said, don't you ever have me be in the position of needing help for my livelihood again. Okay, because I'm a mother of 4. Okay, so no, like me and God, I will be the lender from now on and not the borrower, because anytime I need to borrow something, it's a freaking problem. Okay, but I'm happy to help. Okay, put me in a position to help, I'll help, but don't ever put me in no position like that, because people treat me so bad. Okay. And so, but you know, it was just it's so sad. Like, it was just an example of how Christianity keeps people bound and prevents them from getting the help they need because of this belief system. I'm just gonna pull 2 more and I'm gonna let y'all go. I have an enthusiasm for love and life. My vibration is high and contagious, making me magnetic to my divine partner. So yeah, first of all, your divine partner can't stop watching. They haven't stopped loving you, not for 1 second. Okay? The connection that's between you, it ain't never fucking stopped. Okay? And it's like, and that's shout out to all my readers who be like, that shit over, that shit dead. And I agree. For now. For now, for sure. You know, you're not supposed to, we're not going back, but we are moving forward. And that's not to say that your divine partner is not going to be there. My needs are always abundantly met. My desires are fulfilled and reflect my inner divinity. Okay? So we have nothing to fear. Okay? Whatever it is that we freaking have on our hearts that we want to experience, like, I would love to experience the greatest love story on earth, to where my love so powerful that it changed a man and turned him into a god. I want to see that happen for real. Okay, I pull on the energy of Isis and how her man got chopped up because of jealousy, right? And she went and found all the pieces, put his ass back together, and created a child with his dead body. Okay? Now that's the type of power that we hold, divine feminine. Okay? So whatever it is that you desire, keep going, because it's coming. We're going to pull another one because that's just too good. And I love how all these cards are self cards. Some of these are partner cards. So I feel like there's something to that. Okay, we got 2 because God was like, we don't got to leave that soon. I am part of all life and infinitely connected to spirit and my soul tribe. I embrace all connections I make on this sacred journey. Amen. High five to everybody in the who's watching now and later. Okay. We are all connected and I embrace this. We're all on each other's journey, whether it's for a day or many days. Okay. My life is built on a firm divine foundation. Any foundations that were not built on divine solid ground will fall away from my highest and greatest goods. So we do not have to fear holding on to something that wasn't meant for us either. Okay? And how about that? The foundation of your twin flame connection, maybe it wasn't built on that. Maybe it was built on ego. Maybe it was built on 3D shit. Maybe it was built on circumstances, right? But the spirit of that connection, okay, is still alive and well. And so that's why it's like, it's not about going back to the past and reliving some shit or going to find that old thing, getting that old thing back. No, everything that's coming for us is going to be new. Okay. A renewed spirit, a renewed connection. Okay. So I hope this helped in some way, shape, or form, brought you some clarity, some peace, and even some excitement. Okay, that's what I miss the most about like being active in the twin flame journey. It's the excitement. It gave me so much power. Okay, to know that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and nothing. And first of all, this is your world. You get to decide who you are, who you want to be. Okay, and so you don't have to fear, you don't have to get validation from outside of yourself about what you believe about yourself, okay? So peace and love, and I hope everything works out for you guys. Love you.